I have purchased at least 2 dozen art pieces from Parkwest galleries on cruise ships, on land auctions. I bought one piece which was reported to be signed by the artist, and it was not. I have a certificate that says it was signed. The piece is not signed. After several letters and emails to Parkwest, they have refused to do anything to make good on this piece that they misrepresented as signed. That reduces the value by an astronomical amount, maybe from $3,000 to $200. So you're talking about a reduction in value of $2,800. They should at least replace this piece with the same lithograph with maybe a different number that's signed. And they refuse to do so. So I don't trust them anymore. I mean, it's a Parkwest Galleries is a factory art seller. They sell on cruise ships to people that are, when they don't have a land day, they're between ports. They have auctions. They used hyper sale tactics. And I have now discovered, and I believe it to be the case, that they put shills in the audience to bid up the price. So I don't trust them anymore, and I will never buy from them again. And my advice to anyone is find out a gallery that's in your neighborhood or close by with, you can go to, check the pieces out, and you have someone you can go back in person if something's wrong and deal with them face to face at their gallery. Some almost 25 years ago, I bought a piece of art from Parkwest, and it was one of many pieces I bought over the years. I was on the Norwegian cruise, and they always have these auctions on the cruise. And they also have auctions other places, and I have been collecting art for a long, long time. And the piece I bought was not overly expensive. It was a piece by Marcel Mouly. He's a well-known artist. He's a student of Picasso. He worked with him in the studio. And he did a lot of limited editions, like 100 pieces, and he would sign them and they would sell them for particularly reasonable prices. We're talking about less than $1,000 a print. So this print I bought 25 years ago for $700. And I bought a bunch of others, Mouly's and all sorts of other artists. And I bought from the galleries also many, many pieces. In fact, I think I bought over 100 pieces of art in 25 years. This particular piece, the certificate said it was hand signed by the artist, a limited edition. And this piece was what's known as an artist's proof. That means that the artist had maybe 6 or 8 pieces he pulled and approved them before they did the run to make the print or the lithograph. Okay, now I'm going to show you that piece. It's right behind me. I have it right here. Can you see it? In any event, I lost a lot of money recently, and I decided to sell some of my art. And I have a art broker who's very knowledgeable, and I put to her a number of pieces. We had an interest in this piece from one person, and they asked, well, send me a picture of the signature on the piece. I sent a picture of the piece, and I sent the paperwork on the piece. I have from Parkwest Galleries, an appraisal. It says it's worth $3,000. That's 25 years ago. It probably wasn't worth that then, but it's probably worth that now after 25 years. And I look for the signature because I've seen the signature on almost all of these Moulys. And I have 7 of Marcel Mouly's pieces among all the pieces I have. And I couldn't find a signature because I'd never checked it. I never had a reason to question it. So my appraiser, I asked her, she's younger and has better eyes, and I have a magnifying glass. I took a magnifying glass, we cannot find a signature. So it's not signed, contrary to the certificate of authentication, which says it's signed, and that lowers the value dramatically. Now, it is an artist's proof. So after I saw that, I couldn't sell it. So I wrote Parkwest Galleries, and I said, you guys sent me a piece that gave me a piece that wasn't signed. Well, the guy who owns Parkwest, because I'm a lawyer, and he gave it over to a law firm, and they sent me the nastiest letter saying that after 25 years, I should have noticed it before, yada, 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 and that I'm a liar. And that, so I sent him pictures and close-ups of where the signature is supposed to be according to the certificate. And they refused to do anything. So I basically said, here's a good deal. There were 100 of these. I'm sure you have one because I know you keep some of everything you've ever sold. Just send me one that's signed. I'll send this one back, and I'll put the signed one in a frame like I have now. And they said no. They refused. They're not standing behind. They have a guarantee on the back of their appraisal, but they refuse to honor it. So that leaves me with, I'm a lawyer. I can go to court tomorrow and file a complaint, but it costs about $700 to file a complaint, filing fees, and then serving it, and then having to wait 3 years before I get a trial and to force them to do the right thing. So I decided, no, I'm not going to pursue it for that kind of money, for $3,000 or less. I'm just going to complain and let people know that they're not standing behind what they're selling. And so that's why I went on your website and I found, that I could complain and lay out my story. Well, the painting went from a value of $3,000 down to about $200. What we're talking about is the value of the frame if it's not signed. The fact that it's an artist proof, and it says on it artist proof, gives it a value of a couple $100. So we're talking about $2,800 difference, in my view. But I'm happy if they send me one that is signed. And then I can just frame that one and send them this one back. Probably what happened is this artist will essentially pull the artist proofs, and then he gets a stack of however many there are, like 100. And then he will go through and sign each one and turn it over to the gallery and give it to the gallery. The gallery then sells them and they split the money. That's what happens in all of these pieces. But in this one, somehow, this one artist proof was never signed. But Scaloni, who owns Parkwest Galleries, just prints up the certificates. And he prints them up as if they're all signed because they're supposed to be. And then he sends them off to the ships and various auctions and sells them at auction. They don't even send the prints when they auction. What they do is they take a nice framed picture, put it up on the easel, and then you bid. And then 2 weeks later, after you paid for the picture, they send you one in a tube, and then you have your piece framed. So this is what's going on. And the fact that he won't honor it, I realize it's been a long time, but legally, this is fraud. And I don't want to claim that it's intentional. I think it's just an oversight. But his reputation is going to be crap if he won't stand behind what he sold and make it right. It's not a mistake. The certificate that came with it and the appraisal that came with it says this is a signed artist proof, signed by the artist in the bottom right-hand corner. And it's not. So it's a misrepresentation. Fraud may be too strong a word, but it's definitely a misrepresentation.